Welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started just by finding a seat on your mat. And then from here, just taking any movements that feel good, getting any of those wiggles out of the body. If you're feeling more energetic today, maybe you make your movements larger. If you're feeling a little bit less energetic, maybe you're just playing with some subtle movements here. And then when I was planning this class today, I was thinking of coming back to a practice or starting a practice for the first time, and where's a good place to start. It made me think of Ahimsa, which is a yogic principle that means nonviolence. So that means nonviolence towards others, but it also means nonviolence towards yourself. And I've heard people refer to the mat as a ceasefire zone, which means that when we arrive on our mats, we are offering ourselves kindness, forgiveness, fun, anything that our bodies and minds need. So with that being said, I will be offering suggestions, and you still have full autonomy in this practice. So if something doesn't feel good in your body, don't do it. If you'd rather take a different pose or another variation, trust your body and what it's telling you and follow that. If you have a block or a book, I recommend pulling that out for some balancing we'll be doing later. But other than that, we're going to go over our knees, coming into child's pose. So knees wide, toes together, arms reaching forward, and forehead resting on the earth. I'll go ahead and get some music started. So here in child's pose, start to notice your body and how it's feeling. Feeling the earth beneath your hands, your forearms, your forehead, your shins, and the tops of your feet. And start to notice your breath here without changing it or judging it. Just notice that you have inhales and exhales. And from here, we'll start to deepen the breath. Inhaling for a count of 1, 2, 3. Holding at the top. And exhaling for a count of 1, 2, 3. Holding at the bottom. And continuing those deep breaths with your own counts. On your next exhale, you're going to walk your hands towards the right, placing your left hand on top of your right hand and finding a stretch of your left side body. So noticing the breath here in this pose. It may feel different than the previous one. Continue to breathe. On your next inhale, walking back towards center. And exhale, walking your hands towards the left side. Placing your right hand on your left, and now finding the stretch of your right side body. Finding space along the right side, breathing in to all those nooks and crannies we don't always pay attention to. On your next inhale, walking the hands back to center. Taking one more exhale here in this child's pose. And then inhale, coming up to tabletop. Taking some time to check in here, seeing that your shoulders are over wrists, hips are over knees. And then inhale, drop the belly, open the heart. Exhale, coil in, navel to spine. Inhale, drop the belly, open the heart. And exhale, coil in, navel to spine. And then continue to move through these cat-cow postures and add in any kind of spontaneous movement that feels good. So maybe some circles left to right. Maybe you take your hips in a wider circle here. Just checking in with the body and seeing how it wants to move today, how it does not want to move. And then on the next inhale, we'll meet with a neutral spine. Exhale here, and then inhale, take that right foot back in space. Finding length in your right leg, start to roll out the ankle, bend into the knee. Just waking up that right leg, taking some time to check in, and also say thank you to yourself and your right leg for helping you move throughout the day. You can also take some circles with that hip, opening up that hip joint as well. Now our next inhale, we'll meet right leg long. And then exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, find length. Exhale, coil in. Inhale, finding length. Exhale, coil in. Hold here. And then step your right foot between your hands. And then we'll swirl out the hips. So continuing to check in here, moving forward, back, side to side. Continuing to check in with that right leg and seeing how it wants to move today and how it doesn't want to move. On your next inhale, coming forward, drop the belly, open the heart, belly resting on your right thigh. And then exhale, straighten that right leg. Coil in, taking your nose towards your knee. Here you can play around with pointing your toe or flexing your toe and seeing how that changes the stretch of your calf. Inhale, walk it forward. Drop the belly, open the heart. Exhale, straighten that front leg. Coil in, nose towards knee. And then following your breath, continue between those pulsations. Taking time to linger anywhere that feels good in your body. On our next inhale, we'll meet forward. Hands framing your front foot. You're going to place your left hand onto the earth and then take your right hand to your heart, starting to twist, opening up the body towards the right here. And then after finding this twist, heart-centered, go ahead and take that right arm up in space, coming into a different variation of this twist. And then exhale, take that left hand back to the earth, or right hand back to the earth. Sweep that right leg back, finding length again on the right side. Plant your right toes, lift your left knee, finding a stretch of your right calf muscle. Inhale here. And then exhale brings you back to tabletop. Inhale, left leg goes back in space, finding length on the left side now. Start to roll out your left ankle and bend into that knee. Checking in with the left side of the body now. You may notice that there are some differences between your left and right side bodies. And maybe your left side needs something a little bit different than your right. And that's okay, just honor your body where it's at. So maybe taking some circles with the hips, continuing to bend the knee. And our next inhale will meet left leg long. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, find length. Exhale, coil in. One more, inhale, finding length. Exhale, coil in, hold it here. And then step your left foot between your hands and start those swirly hips. Continuing to check in. Taking time to thank your left leg for all it's done for you and helping you move around today. Next, inhale, come forward, drop the belly, open the heart. Exhale, straighten that front leg, nose towards knee. Inhale, walk it forward, drop the belly, open the heart. And then exhale, walk it back, nose towards knee. Continue between these pulsations, moving with your own breath and taking time to linger anywhere that feels good in your own body. Inhale, we'll meet forward, hands framing foot. Placing your right hand onto the earth and then inhale, twisting and landing first with your left hand on your heart. Finding that twist from the space above the belly button. And then you can lift your left arm up in space. And continue to breathe here. On your next exhale, take your left hand back to the earth. Sweep that left leg back, finding length once again on your left side body. And then plant your left toes, lift your right knee, finding a stretch of your left calf. And breathe. Exhale takes you back to tabletop. Inhale here. Exhale, roll over the toes. Send those hips up and back for our first downward facing dog. Then take some time to pedal out your dog here, bending your knees left and right. Maybe you want to shift a little bit forward and back. Again, just checking in with the body and finding a good place to land. Eventually finding some stillness here in your downward facing dog. Inhale up on the toes. Noisy exhale into the heels. Inhale up on the toes. Noisy exhale into the heels. And one more time, inhale up on the toes. Noisy exhale into the heels. Inhale up on the toes. Exhale, bend into the knees and make your way to the top of the mat. You can walk, step, or jump. You find yourself in our first forward fold. So here, hands can be on your thighs, on your calves. If you were able to find a book or a block, you can use that here. And find the earth. You can also find opposite elbows. Wherever you're at, let go of your head, let go of your neck, let your upper body be heavy. And sway from side to side here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep up with a flat back. Then exhale, hands through heart. And gazing down at your index and middle fingers, take some time to set an intention for your practice today. It can be a goal you have on or off your mat, something you want to bring into your life, something you want to let go of. We'll inhale our intentions, exhale them out into the world. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, coming down with a flat back. Inhale, halfway lift, drawing shoulder blades up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands come through heart. So that's our half sun, and we'll do a couple more just to help warm up our body. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. You can use your fingers to trace the backs of your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep up to standing. Then exhale, hands come through heart. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands come through heart. So moving on to our sun A, just adding a little bit more onto that half sun variation. So inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. From here, plant your hands, step back to plank. So here in plank, knees can be lifted or they can be on the earth. And then taking some time to check in here, seeing that your shoulders are over your wrists, fingers are splayed wide, pressing into that inner tripod, which is the thumb, forefinger, and middle finger on each hand. And continuing to breathe here, feeling that long line of energy from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Inhale here, and exhale. Breathing into that strength that's holding you up in space right now. Inhale here, and then exhale, takes you all the way down to the earth, resting your forehead. Here we're going to set up for Cobra, so fingertips are at chest level, shoulders are out of ears, elbows kissing at the back. Inhale and lifting up to baby Cobra. Then exhale back down. Inhale to baby Cobra, or if it feels good with your back, a longer arm cobra. And exhale back to the earth. And then inhale, baby cobra, long arm cobra, or you can press the tops of your feet into the earth, lifting your legs, finding an upward facing dog. Inhale here, and then exhale, roll over the toes, sending those hips up and back. Finding another downward facing dog. You'll be taking some time to pedal out here as well. And then inhale up on the toes. Noisy exhale into the heels. Inhale up on the toes. Exhale, bend it to the knees. Make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands come through heart. So that was our Sun A, and throughout class we'll be taking what's called a flow, and that is the plank, cobra or upward facing dog to down dog sequence. You are always welcome to take something out of that sequence, add something to it, skip it entirely. This is your practice. Do what feels best in your body. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back to plank, and then take your flow. So coming all the way down or halfway down, lifting to cobra or upward facing dog, and then exhale over the toes, downward facing dog. From here, inhale up on the toes, exhale, bend into the knees, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come through heart. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back to plank, and take your flow. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale up on the toes. Exhale, bend into the knees. Make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up to standing. Exhale, hands come through heart. Then we can come into our mountain pose from here. So palms facing outwards. Feeling strong here. Pressing evenly into the four corners on each foot. And coming back to the breath. And from here, you can look down at your toes, start to wiggle your right toes, and then lift that right foot, taking it back in space here, setting up for a crescent. So our legs are in a crescent. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, deeper into the legs. Inhale, finding length in the spine. Exhale into the legs. From here, you're going to turn your back foot, so your back arch is intersecting your front heel. Taking your arms out, and now we're in a warrior two. So checking in here, you can put your hands on your hips to see that your shoulders are over hips. Take those arms back out. Gaze is over the front middle finger. And coming back to your breath here in this pose. And breathing into that strength that's holding you up right now. And on your next exhale, you're going to take your left arm overhead, right arm to your back leg. Finding a reverse warrior. Finding length on the left side of your body here. Breathing into that space between the ribs. And on your next inhale, take left arm down, right arm overhead. Finding your side angle. And then moving with your own breath between those two pulsations. Taking time to linger anywhere that feels good in your body. Now your next exhale, we'll meet back in warrior two, landing here for one round of breath. And then your next exhale, cartwheel the hands to frame that front foot. And then go ahead and step your right foot back to meet your left. We'll meet in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up to standing. And then exhale, hands come through heart. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. And then exhale, we'll come back to our mountain pose, palms facing forward. Feeling grounded in through our feet. And then looking down at those feet, start to wiggle your left toes. Lift your left leg up. Step it back, setting up for a crescent. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale into your legs. Here you can try a cactus arm variation. Maybe taking it into a little bit of a heart opener, looking up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, deep into the legs. Inhale, reaching up towards the sky. And then exhale, anchoring that back foot, opening up your hips towards the side of the mat, taking those arms out wide. And then checking in here with your arms. You can lift or twist your arms so your palms are facing up. And then feeling that engagement in the arms here, keeping that engagement. Turn your palms back down. Gaze over that front middle finger. And continue to breathe. Feeling strong in your legs, your core, and your arms. All of you. On your next exhale, take that right arm overhead, left arm comes back, finding your reverse warrior. Finding that length on the right side body. Breathing into all those little nooks and crannies. Now your next inhale, take the right arm down, left arm overhead. Finding reverse on the other side. And then moving with your own breath, continue with those pulsations, taking time to linger anywhere that feels good in your body. Now your next inhale will meet in warrior two, landing here for one round of breath. And exhale, cartwheel the hands, frame that front foot, and then step your left foot up to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep up to standing. Exhale, hands come through heart. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your toes together. And then sit back towards your heels like you're sitting in a chair. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, sit a little bit deeper. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, deeper into the legs. One more round of breath here. And then exhale, go forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back to plank, and take your flow. Meet in downward facing dog. From here, inhale, stretch that right leg back. Finding length in the right leg like you can kick the ceiling with your heel. Inhale here. Exhale, bring it through, knee to chest. And then step that right foot between your hands. Here we can do another swirly hips, making any sort of adjustments that you need to set up for your crescent lunge. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, landing into your crescent. Inhale here. Exhale, anchor that back foot. Finding your warrior two. Inhale, finding your reverse warrior. Exhale to side angle. Inhale, back to warrior two. And then if you have a block or a book, now would be a good time to move it towards the top of the mat. So gazing down at your front toes, you're going to just slowly step your left foot forward until it eventually floats. So maybe it floats and it's only a couple inches off the ground. That is perfect. Or maybe you can dig it up further, reaching your hand towards that block, a book, the earth. If you have a wall available, that can work as well. So here we're finding our half moon pose. So breathing here as we find balance. And then finding that tipping point, that edge where we lose our balance. And then you can practice coming back and finding that balance again. Ooh. If you've landed here in your half moon and you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can try lifting your right hand off the earth. Maybe even taking that right hand to your heart. Ooh. You can also try bending your left leg and grabbing it in your left hand. Again, trying to lose the balance and then come back to it. Now your next exhale, plant your left foot, landing back into warrior two for one round of breath. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, frame that front foot, step back to plank, and take your flow. Meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, taking that left foot up and back, like you could kick the ceiling with your left heel this time. Inhale here, exhale, coil in, knee to chest, and then step it through towards the front of the mat. Take some time to scroll out your hips, making any sort of adjustments that you need here. Just set up for a crescent. Inhale up. Exhale, land here in your crescent. Inhale here, and then exhale, open it up to warrior two. Landing here, finding our breath. And then inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale to warrior two. And then exhale. You're going to slowly step that right foot up until it eventually floats. So again, maybe it's just a couple inches off the earth, or you can reach for that prop or a wall or the earth. Coming into half moon on that other side. And then challenging yourself, finding that tipping point, that point where you lose balance. And practice coming back into it. If you would like a little bit more of a challenge, you can try lifting that left hand off the earth, maybe taking it to your heart. Ooh. Maybe you bend that right leg and grab your foot with your right hand. Take some time to play around with it. Now your next exhale, plant that right foot. Come back to warrior two, landing here for one round of breath. And then on that next exhale, cartwheel the hands, frame your front foot, step back to plank, and take your flow. And then from here, you're going to take your knees wide, toes together, landing back in child's pose. Grounding back down here, feeling the earth beneath your hands, your forearms, your forehead, your shins, and the tops of your feet. Start to notice your breath again. Notice how it may feel different than it did at the start of this practice. We'll start to deepen the breath again, inhaling for a count of 1, 2, 3, holding at the top, and exhaling for a count of 1, 2, 3, holding at the bottom. Continuing those deep breaths with your own counts. On your next exhale, come all the way onto your belly and stretch your arms wide like wings. We're going to go into a shoulder stretch from here. So you're going to start by bending your right leg. And then you're going to roll over onto your left shoulder. So you're stepping your right leg or your right foot behind your left leg. You should be finding a stretch in that left shoulder space. So here there's a couple different options you can do with your arm. You can leave your arm out wide, or you can bring it closer into the body, pressing into the earth, finding a little bit more leverage here in this stretch. Or you can take your right arm up and around, reaching for your left hand behind your back. Wherever you're at, I'm going to stay here for 3 to 5 breaths. And then on your next exhale, coming all the way back onto your belly, arms stretched wide. Inhale, bend into the left leg. And then rolling over on your right shoulder, step your left foot behind your right leg. And the stretch will be in your right shoulder this time. Again, all of those options with the arm, you can leave it out wide like a wing. Take it in closer to the body, pressing into the earth. Or you can reach that left arm around toward your right hand. I find if I move my right hand down, or my hands closer to the small of the back, it's easier for them to find each other here. Wherever you land, 3 to 5 rounds of breath. And on your next exhale, coming back onto your belly, arms stretched out wide. One round of breath here. And taking your hands closer into your body. Inhale, push up to tabletop. And then exhale, roll over the ankles, coming into a seat. So from here, we're going to do one last core thing. So coming into a boat, you're going to want to have your knees bent, arms out to your sides. And then there's a few options here. You can just leave your toes on the mat. You can lift your shins so they're parallel, or you can try straightening your legs. And breathe here, feeling that core engagement. And then exhale, slowly lower all the way down to the earth. And then from here, you're going to bend into the knees so your heels are just out of reach of your fingertips. And then inhale, lifting your hips up towards the ceiling, finding a bridge pose. On your next exhale, slowly lower your back to the earth, one vertebrae at a time. And then inhale, you can either lift up into bridge again, or if you have wheel or shoulder stand in your practice, now is a good time to take those poses. If you're here in bridge, there are a couple other options here. So you can roll your shoulders underneath your back and clasp your hands behind your back, finding a little bit more shoulder opening here. If you have a book or a block, you could place that on the small of your back, finding a supported bridge. It's a wonderful restorative pose. So wherever you're at, we'll take 3 more rounds of breath. And on your next exhale, you can remove any props that you have. Just slowly let your back melt onto the earth. And then from here, you're going to take your feet together, knees wide, finding a gentle hip opening here. Just letting gravity do most of the work. Continuing to breathe here. Here you can take the right hand underneath the right thigh. And then close it onto the left thigh like you're closing a book. You can stretch your arms out wide, or you can find cactus arms if you're in a smaller space. And your gaze can either be up towards the ceiling or over your right hand. Finding a gentle twist here. Your next inhale, take your right knee back, finding that hip opener once again. Landing here for 1 round of breath. And then take your left hand underneath your left thigh and close it over your right like you're closing a book. And take your arms out like wings or cactus arms. Gaze can either be up towards the ceiling or over your left hand. Inhale, you're going to take your knees so they're pointing up towards the ceiling, feet planted on the earth, finding a neutral spine here. Inhale. And then exhale, take your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a great big hug. You rock a little bit side to side to massage out that low back. And then here, take any other movements or poses that you would like before finding our final resting pose of Shavasana. Legs out long, arms at your sides, palms facing up. And coming back to your breath here. With each exhale, relaxing deeper into the earth beneath you.
Must be still, take heartbreaks, hold fire, bloodlines, earthquakes. Depths over distance, deep roots and charred ashes, hardship, carved stones, pain, acid, and scars make us beautiful and flawless. Take time, take a breath, invisible scars make us beautiful as flowers and beauty. Take time, take a breath, make it physical. Must be still, take heartbreaks, hold fire.
You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things. Take one hand to your heart and one to your belly, and we'll seal our practice with a great big inhale and a sigh on the exhale. Thank you for taking time for yourself and for practicing with me today. The light and the dark in me see, honor, and celebrate the light and the dark in you.